Not made any difference. That's hit
Radicals, yet old-fashioned. Uncompromising, yet lazy.
Throwing the bat at this ball.
India's greatest cricketing leader, yet called a disruptive element in the team. One of the world's best batsmen, yet someone whose batting was almost always under the scanners. This is the story of Sourav Ganguly, one of Indian cricket's most fascinating tales. Played out to millions of spectators, yet a private epic, with all the drama of a symphony, with ups and downs like a boat tossed in a storm, and a legacy of forging an Indian cricket team with a whole new philosophy towards the game. This is the paradox of Sourav Ganguly on the Golden Generation.
There's a captain wants a single. Get a single. Get a single.
Loves to dominate.
When Sourav Ganguly took off his shirt in celebration at Lord's, cricket's holiest sight, it was the gesture of a true maverick, a man who created his own path without fear of tradition or nicety.
Series final by 2 wickets here at Lord's in one of the most incredible one-day matches the country has ever seen.
It was also a symbol of triumph, a moment that captured the long and hard journey to become India's most successful captain. Inevitably, Sourav Ganguly's tryst with the Indian cricket team began with a controversy. He was picked for the ODI squad to Australia in 1992, played and failed in one game and was promptly dropped. But he was instantly in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons.
He went to Australia, I think he was too young, and then these reports came about his not kind of cooperating with the team, which I was surprised. And I have talked to most of the players, and everyone says that all those stories were just somebody's imagination. Maybe some board official didn't like him.
We were shocked to learn a lot of things about, the way he was portrayed back in India. I was quite disappointed.
When he was unexpectedly picked again to the Test squad to England in 1996, there was a media furor against his selection.
Everyone, I think, wrote that he shouldn't have been in the team. In fact, there were editorials written that there is a quota system in Indian cricket, and that's how he has come.
Just perfect for Sourav Ganguly. It would be too dull without the criticism and the controversy, so he scored a century on debut.
I was there at Lord's at the day he hit the 100, and some of us wanted to meet him. And most of us were embarrassed that how would we face him.
He was outstanding. I mean, a maiden 100. He looked completely in control right from the ball one, and then we saw a new Sourav Ganguly after that.
To add more spice to the spectacular debut, Ganguly scored a second consecutive century and then returned home to promptly elope with his high school sweetheart.
He is a character where people expect something new. Same his marriage. One fine morning we have come to know that he got married. And Dona was our neighbor. Just one wall was there between our two houses. It was really shocking for my parents that one fine morning we come to know from press that Sourav got married without informing them.
Back on the field, Sourav Ganguly was quickly becoming an integral part of the team. And on October 23rd, 1996, he came out to open the batting with Sachin Tendulkar in an ODI against South Africa. It was an opening pair made in heaven, as destructive as dynamite for bowling attacks around the world. When they finished their partnership, they had scored nearly 6,000 runs between them, more than any opening pair in ODI history.
We knew each other's batting. We've opened for nearly 200 games, so we knew what each other was trying to do. There have been times when, in terms of chasing big totals, there have been situations where we walked up to each other and said, "You draft, I'll get after the bowling."
Yes, he's got back to ball, and that is a regal-looking shot
Over the next 3 years, Sourav Ganguly was a cannonball blazing through the cricket world. Touch, power, timing, brute force, silken strokes through the gaps, huge sixes. He had it all, and he was scoring at will.
Brilliantly done. He raises his
He was a player with a big heart. He was a player who was willing to take on strong opposition. He was a player who knew when to score runs. He was a player who knew how to score runs.
I think if I can be just like him, that's going to be the ideal thing for me, because he's been my all-time scoring hero, no doubt about that. And if I can contribute even the half what he contributed to the Indian cricket, I think that's going to be tremendous.
उनसे बड़ा लेफ्ट-हैंडर क्लासिकल बैट्समैन मैंने नहीं देखा.
Sourav the batsman was so dominating during the late 90s that he ended a 3-test home series against Sri Lanka with an average of 98. In January 1998, he scored 124 in the highest successful run chase in ODIs against Pakistan. He set the record for the highest opening partnership in ODIs with Sachin. And in May 1999, he blasted his way to 183 against Sri Lanka at the World Cup. At that time, it was the highest score by an Indian in an ODI.
The pleasure you got by scoring a test 100 or by a one-day 100, it cannot be valued in terms of anything else. It's just the satisfaction you get every time whether you've scored 10,000, 20,000 runs, every time you get 100, you feel, geez, this is what I wanted to do and I'm still good at it.
The Prince of Kolkata was clearly at the highest possible peak, but it was just the beginning. At the Indian cricket team's darkest hour, when the world of cricket was burning with the match-fixing scandal, Sourav Ganguly was given the reins of a broken and dysfunctional team.
So we all had gone away to play county cricket. It was our first experience with county cricket, so we couldn't play cricket for 6 months. And by the time I came back, whether it's rightfully or wrongfully, the names which were attached to these issues were not a part of the team. So I didn't have to go and leave anybody out. I had to pick a new team.
To Ganguly, there is a man out on the leg side.
The stage was set for a historic change in Indian cricket.
So we were a young bunch of boys under John Wright, who became coach in 2000, and we were desperate to change our fortunes overseas.
Some men are born to lead. Sourav Ganguly falls into that category without a shred of doubt, and the signs were always there.
I led E-Zone when he was a member of the side, and I was the wicketkeeper, and he would most of the time field at first slip. And he would, after each and every over, he would come over to me and give me some advice. And not only with me, I remember when Arun and Ashok were the captain of Bengal off for E-Zone, and he was just a youngster. That was his first season. He was very open about his comments and extremely forthright about what he felt about the planning, what he felt about the opposition, how to get a particular batsman out.
An excellent cricketing brain, a natural flair for man management, and a drive to win that was so infectious that it could carry a whole team with it. Sourav was everything you could ask for in a captain.
मैं ये कहूँगा कि वो एक बहुत बड़े फाइटर हैं, कि जब उन्हें चैलेंज मिला टीम संभालने का, तब भी उनको अगेंस्ट एक वो फाइट करने की होती कि हाँ भाई, अगर मुझे चैलेंज मिला है तो मुझे प्रूव करना है, मुझे लड़ना है, यार लड़ाना है अपनी टीम को.
Ganguly also had an uncanny eye for talent and the courage and conviction to back them.
Pulled away.
Imagine he bagged UV, Viru. All these players were bought by Sourav and Bhaji, Zach, and they turned out to be the match winners now.
Strength of Ganguly as a captain was to really connect well with the Harbhajan Singhs, the likes of Yuvraj, who were very, very young at that time. But I think he gave them enough independence to really act or probably they play the way they want. I think that independence made these guys strong characters by the end of the day.
Like that, he's found the gap.
Sourav won his first series as captain against South Africa, and then he and his team did the unthinkable. They took on the invincible Aussies and conquered them. The Prince of Kolkata had gotten under the Australian skin. He had engaged and beaten Steve Waugh's legendary team, not just on the field, but also in mind games.
Steve brought a certain self-regard almost to his whole persona, that, this is me, I'm Steve Waugh. And here was Sourav Ganguly. He said, well, this is me, I'm Sourav Ganguly, I'm not getting runs, but I'm still captain of India and you have to reckon with me. Ganguly picked up very quickly on what was annoying, what was irritating Steve Waugh. It was a small thing. We didn't realize how much it was. We would sort of say, oh, he's late again for the toss, and we'd laugh, and some of us would shake our head and say, that's terrible, and captains can't be late for the toss. And, who said captains can't be late for the toss if it works?
Whatever happened on the cricket field was just a way to win games. It was nothing personal. And over the years I realized that's the best. India played the best when they were up for it.
Along with coach John Wright, Ganguly led the renaissance of Team India, breaking old ideas, bringing in new training methods, erasing the tag of timidity and the jinx of never winning abroad.
There were so many things that we saw that changed during, after, John Wright and Sourav Ganguly started working together. There's so many things that changed that are now taken for granted today, virtually.
If they were a bit of a laid-back side, we used to let things happen. So somebody like John or me or even Andrew, who was with us then, wanted to make sure that we were awake for all the games and played aggressively. We were a different side once we did that.
He became only the second captain to take India to a World Cup final.
It's all over now.
Beating Kenya in the semis in 2003.
India get home.
Big game for us here, big game for all those people who've come to watch, and probably 100 crore people. 100 crore people back home, and a win here has given smiles to everybody. Schools were closed, offices were closed for this big game, and the way we've played, it's made the whole country proud.
Straight up in the air. This should be...
The cup itself slipped from Sourav's grasp, but later that year, he scored a scorching century in India's tour to Australia.
That's well played. 50 partnership. And slapped through the offside. Well played, Sourav.
Setting the tone for a series where India fought the world's best team to a standstill.
That is beautifully executed. Lovely sharpness by the Indian captain.
First 100 उन्होंने बनाया ब्रिस्बेन में, उसके बाद से 100 बनने स्टार्ट हुए, तो उन्होंने प्रूव किया, फाइट की वहाँ पर, और हम लोगों को उस ख़राब सिचुएशन से बाहर निकाला और ऐसे मुकाम पर लाए कि हम लोग सीरीज ड्रॉ करके आए वहाँ पर.
In 2004, Ganguly became the first captain to win a test series in Pakistan, and with 15 test wins, became India's most successful captain.
One of the best captains of all time. Because I think that he has sacrificed his batting for captaincy. Because he is such a type of a character. Even in my house, he loves to stay with all our brothers and cousins like this. When he goes, he take with him everybody.
But Ganguly had suddenly reached the peak of a slippery slope, and the fall, true to his style, was dramatic. A complete and devastating loss of batting form, struggling as captain, and the team losing just about every series they played. It was the end of the Ganguly-Wright combination, and in stepped the new coach, Greg Chappell, and things fell apart. Sourav went public with the fact that Chappell had asked him to step down, and Chappell sent an email to the BCCI slamming Sourav Ganguly in the harshest possible terms. When the email was leaked to the media, one of Indian cricket's ugliest and most dramatic saga began playing out.
It damaged the whole team spirit. So what Greg was doing was not just unfair to Ganguly, it was unfair to the other players, it was unfair to Indian cricket as well.
The selectors were in awe of him, the board was in awe of him, and he was able to get away by slagging off an Indian captain in print. Okay, it was a confidential email. He was very indiscreet to send that email in the manner in which he did. It wasn't his job to sack the captain.
Out of the team, sacked from captaincy, in the space of a few months, the prince had been reduced to a pauper.
All what had happened during those 1 month was a bit of a shock. I still couldn't fathom out why all these things happened. And secondly, there was no need for that. If I had to go as captain, I had to go. And it could have been done in a much better way.
So many great people leave on a bitter note, sliding downwards from lofty peaks till they fade from view. Was this the fate waiting for India's greatest captain? Down and out is a state Sourav Ganguly knows well, but fighting his way out of it, he knows best. Only die-hard fans believed Sourav Ganguly would get another chance to turn out in India colours. But it was enough that in his darkest hour, Sourav believed he could.
Initially, he was very restless. So I was the only person who we used to have a lot of discussion, close discussion, what is wrong going on. I used to collect all his old cassettes. 4-5 years back cassette, how used to bat at that time, what is the wrong going on at this time. Then we used to sit 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock at night and we used to analyze.
I was just 32, 33 when I was left out, so I wanted to play, and everything was with the urge of getting my place back and doing well again.
Ganguly was picked for a test series in Pakistan, where a televised image of him in animated conversation with Greg Chappell and Rahul Dravid became the only enduring memory. His on-field performance was just a fleeting moment, and he was dropped again.
He worked very hard. I've never seen anybody working as hard as he used to do at this 1.5 years time. He used to train tremendously. I don't think he has ever trained so much in his whole career. He used to bat twice and thrice in the nets. He used to spend hours with the coaches in nets with the bowlers.
In December 2006, India were thrashed in South Africa, losing all 5 matches of the ODI series. Ganguly was recalled to bolster a struggling batting side for the tests. A moment rife with tension, drama and speculation as the former commander-in-chief, now a foot soldier, made his way into the nets. In the very next match, a warm-up game, India were 59 for 4 when a familiar figure entered the scene with a brilliant rescue act to give India their first win in the tour. Ganguly was back in the groove, and in the first test he scored a fighting half-century with the tail to set the platform for India's win.
He is one player who I've seen that has fought back and has fought back so strongly that he has surprised everyone. In fact, there are a lot of times when he must have surprised even himself.
Oh, he's timed that exquisitely.
There was no looking back for the Prince of Kolkata. He was once again the god of the offside, the Maharaja of the batting strip. He was scoring at will, 249 runs at an average of 49.8 for a series win against England. His first test century at his home ground in Kolkata.
As if he's conquered the world.
His first double century, hammered against Pakistan in Bangalore. The familiar Man of the Series award. It felt like Sourav was making up for lost time.
वो फाइट करते हैं और वो उससे बाहर निकलते हैं. उनसे बड़ी कमबैक तो शायद किसी ने नहीं की. जिस तरह से वो 8-9 महीने ड्रॉप हुए और उसके बाद वापस आए और फिर दोबारा परफॉर्म किया, फिर दोबारा से खेलते रहे.
He won't be very harassed.
And then, finally, on his own terms.
Before I leave, I just want to say that this is going to be my last series. I've decided to quit. Thanks for all your support. Hopefully, we'll go on a winning note. Thanks.
In his last series, Ganguly was serene yet dominant on the field, and in his last match, he scored 85 in the first innings, leaving the game like a true hero.
When I announced my retirement, I hoped that it would finish this way. Finish with a smiling face on everyone happy, and I couldn't have expected more than this. You know, beating the best team in the world 2-0 convincingly. We were up till late, 1 o'clock. Just the teammates in a round chair in the restaurant downstairs. It was fantastic. You know, laughing, smiling. It's just what victory does to you.
It was time to settle back in his home with a wife he had once run away with.
She's happy that I'll be home. Hopefully she's happy that I'll be home.
He's already promised me he will help me and he's going to take care of Sana.
We are little bit, so it gives you some freedom. I can spend some more time with Sana, and Sana can do whatever she wants, and nothing will go to the mother.
Not too many people get those, and Sourav Ganguly fully deserves.
Life had come full circle for the boy from an affluent Bengali family who had defied his comfortable background to fight to the top of Indian cricket, who didn't have to do it for the money but did it for the hunger and passion for the game, and left Indian cricket bigger and better than ever.
He fought hard, he wanted the team to do well, he knew what was needed to succeed, he was willing to do it. He was a fantastic batsman, and people forget in all this that he was a very fine batsman.
So his contribution to Indian cricket is right at the top.
That really is beautifully timed by Sourav Ganguly.
Well, the body language says it all.
Shows so much class. The Australians think so.
As that banner said, Dada, you will never retire from our hearts. He was a very, very special player for India. Dada will miss you.